So this is a BlackmarDiemer formation, and it comes out of a French defense. The last one I showed you, I believe, came out of a Carol Can. It's the same sort of formation as white, where you sacrifice a pawn on f3. And in this particular type of setup, you can put a bishop on d3 or c4, and I found that actually d3, depending on where black puts his white squared bishop, is a superior type position, and you're able to castle queenside in some of these cases, and I believe this is a game where that happens as well. So this is a fairly simple type thing. It could have gone into my anti-French section, because this is people who play the exchange French drive me crazy. I mean, it's just an attempt to draw you when you have a higher rating. So I'll show you the game that I've chosen. And so this is going to be a fairly quick game, as I recall. Once again, 21, I forget what this person was rated as, 21 something. So here we go with the exchange French. There was a point in time where everybody played this in the history of chess, and they considered it practically an equal game. And you know, I personally find too many exchanges obnoxious, so this is what I do. And the computer calls this opening a BlackmarDiemer, so it could have come out of a d4 opening theoretically. And now he moves knight to f6 to cover the pawn, which makes no sense at all. And when they do that, that's not the best way of declining the gambit. It gives white a decent advantage here, and of course we cover that and invite him to take. And it says he can get an advantage here by simply taking the e4 pawn, because he's got the queen to h5 check coming. So depending on, and I'm willing to play this, and it's somewhat unsound, which is the nature of this. So he castles, and we cover the check and get our advantage back, our small advantage. c5 is a computer move. I choose to take, giving black the advantage back again. So what was the computer move was just go a3 and have him exchange it off and cover the pawn that way with a c3 pawn. So we're not playing any of the computer moves, so that's because we're humans. Interesting that they're just suggesting bishop takes check, tripling the pawns. So he takes back. That's hard to resist because it stops black or white from castling right away. Computer wants me to play e5 now, and then probably knight to e4 to cover the f2 square. And now it's interesting. h6 is the predominant move. He does not do that. He retreats bishop. That's because pushing the pawn was intending to win the knight. And the fact is that winning the knight is possible even after retreating the bishop, because forces him to go g5, will just sack on g5, wrecking his kingside pawn structure. Queen to e2. And now I say white has a solid advantage. The computer thinks it can defend it. Once again, it's less than a pawn either way. And queen to b6, he's gone way astray here. So he's going to attack my b pawns, prevent me from castling. Thinks he's made a really smart move, and I just castle queenside. And now he's in dire peril. What is he going to do? He's practically lost. So let's see how this happens. The losing move. What happens is he gets the push. So once he gets the push, because of his strange queen position, the d5 square creates an attack on his queen. And, e5, the natural move is knight to d5. As you can see, the computer says, well, you lose a piece, so, what are you going to do? So we put an e5, and now he says he's got to sack the piece, play knight on b to d7, because if he moves the knight where it covers it, I take the knight. So the strange part is he decided, well, I've got to do that, because if you think about it, he's going to capture the bishop with check, which is a Zwischenzug. Okay, so there are two ways to play this. The correct way, according to the computer, and the way I played it, which is not the best way, but it was an effective way, and it did win. So think for a second what happens, okay? We play knight takes d5, and we can't see the analysis because it's cut off here. He plays bishop takes bishop check. I play knight takes bishop. He now recaptures e6 takes d5. Now, when you analyze what's going on, I can obviously play bishop takes h7 check and then follow it up with queen to h5. The problem with that is that he can protect himself along the h file at that point by moving queen to h6, because the e pawn is now on d5 and he's got a lateral defense with his queen. So in order to make that attack work, there is yet another move that white can make in the midst of this. And it's a powerful attacking move, and it's e6. And basically what it is you've just created an interference play. Now you've got a knight on g5, a bishop on h7 that's already checked, the king is on h8, you're intending to move queen to h5. e6 is what gets played because he can't take it with the queen. The reason he can't take it with the queen is, yes, the knight covers it on g5. Okay, now we're envisioning this. Knight covers it on g5, so he takes it with the bishop instead. He takes it with the bishop, now we play queen to h5 and the game's over, because there are discovery checks and mates and things that are going to follow. So that is the magic move that the computer says, no doubt, we're up 5. Now the other way to make him resign is what I did, and it happens very quickly. I just play bishop takes pawn check. Now the computer says, well, I could have been up 5, but I'm only up 2. Wait a minute, it's catching up. I stand corrected. He can move king to h8 as a superior move, and I'm going to be up at least 4. So both of these moves are close to each other. This move is not quite as accurate. And there's another basic principle involved, what happens, because now his bishop takes bishop check is going to be met with knight takes bishop check. And if his queen's attacked, then he's going to have a king and queen both attacked, which is kind of a weird remote family fork, I'd like to call that. Okay, so now once again the evaluation is climbing up toward where the other one was, and he takes. Now it says I should play bishop takes bishop. How do you like that? No doubt because I have a mating sequence that can occur really quickly here, probably involving like queen d4 check and queen over to h4, but I'm not going to verify that. So I play knight takes knight, and once again, inaccurate. Computer doesn't like it. Computer says I'm only up 1.7, because he can just play e takes now, and then I just win a piece, bishop takes bishop. So this I would call, yes, I blundered here. This is a bad move by me. That also wins. So he plays bishop takes bishop check, blundering back hideously. Now I play knight takes bishop check, and he's got the remote family fork I talked about. So I played poorly here. And yet I was just going to win a piece, and this was a rapid game against a 2100 who fell apart, and I played the wrong order of moves. But this was instructive to watch, and in effect I really just won a piece in that whole exchange instead of going for the throat, which I should have done, and it was a bad plan on my part. I apologize. However, I did this in order to show you the power of the BlackmarDiemer setup. And at this point, he moves his king out, and I take the queen when I had another mate. I take his rook, no doubt when I had another, he just resigned. So, these blitz games are different than, long games. In long games, you would make everything absolutely exact. When I see the win of a piece and a crushing, anything 2 up makes me happy, and I win quickly. Plus, I don't really recall how much time was involved here. I could use time as an excuse for my inaccurate play. However, a win's a win, and in no way was white in danger of losing at any point. So that is a point of contention. I see the computer's now found that I haven't made an 8. So that is interesting, and it's a BlackmarDiemer formation.